Hey everybody, it's Travis from Rotate Digital. Wanted to create this video and share with you information about hosting and what it means and what is hosting versus the website versus the domain. And I'm going to try to explain this through an analogy. My goal is for you to have clarity and understanding of what it is to help you make better decisions with your online assets. So let me go ahead and let me share my screen with you guys here, and you guys can come along. Please, if you have questions about this, about what I'm discussing here, please put those into the comments below, or email our team. But put them in the comments below, and I'll create more videos on this to help explain this in a better way. So we get a lot of questions coming in about, like, I thought WordPress is hosting, and I thought this XYZ. And so I'm going to just kind of explain this a little bit with an analogy, and all analogies break down at some point. But let me just explain to us. I want you to pretend there's a piece of land, okay? Here's the piece of land. And on this land is, and for this case, we're going to make it a mobile home, okay? We're going to make this nice mobile home right here. Boop, boop. That's your mobile home. And I'm going to put wheels on it so you guys understand it's a mobile home. This is your mobile home, okay? Now, what I want you to understand with this is when someone builds your website, okay, they may be building your website through different types of builders, right? It may be WordPress, it may be Duda, it may be Wix, Weebly, it may be, I think there's Magneto. Like, there's a lot of different ways to build a website, right? And these different ways are ultimately what gets done and what is how a home gets built. What you guys see on the front end when you go to www.rotatedigital.com or www.yourbusinesscompany's url.com, and you see this beautiful constructed website with photos and text, what you're seeing here is the cultivation of what is coming out. And that is like what you see is the mobile home, right? You look at the mobile home, you see the beautiful mobile home, if that's a thing, but you see the mobile home and you see what it all looks like. That's the end product. Now, how that mobile home got built, that is your WordPress, the Duda, the Wix, the Weebly, right? You could almost say it's like, did the home get built with wood or concrete or plastic or PVC? That's kind of explaining the mobile home. Now, the land part of this, to explain the hosting side of things, let's pretend this land here, right? This land is hosting, right? We're going to call this hosting. There you go. Now, your mobile home sits out of hosting, right? In this case, on the online world, we're going to call this a servers, right? Or server, okay? And that is how you can put your mobile home somewhere, right? You can't just go put your mobile home anywhere. You've got to have land, right? You got to pay for it, right? And what you guys are used to hearing is where you're going to go purchase these hosting services to hold your mobile home or your website, right? And so these are going to be the things like GoDaddy. There's other ones like Bluehost, or HostGator is another one you hear of, right? And they have a hosting service, right? You got to know they have a hosting service that you pay a monthly amount on a yearly basis or a monthly basis for the hosting service. So when someone says, do I own my website, right? Or for us at Rotate Digital, we want to make sure that you know that you always own your website when we build it for you. If you are not in a contract or you're out of a contract, this website is for you, that you own. Currently, right now, the only difference is if you're in a contract, we technically own the website until the contract gets fulfilled or paid out. But for most people, you really want to ask your website developer, do I own my website? And what you're asking is, do I own keys? This is going to be my little key. There's my little key. Do I own keys to access the home, right? Or in this case, do I have an admin login that has full access to my website, right? You want to know that you have full access to your website, right? Do I have keys or access to the website, okay? And your goal is to have the answer to be yes. If you have that, you own or you have the ability to own basically what the website is doing for your business. And keep in mind, this is an online asset for you guys. This should not be taken as a a haphazard, like not a serious thing. A lot of web developers out there will build you these beautiful websites. We're going to call them mobile homes in this example, but they actually will own it and they won't give you access, full admin. They might give you an access that's restricted, right? They'll let you just go to the living room, or they'll let you rent the home, but you actually can't make any changes, right? But you ultimately don't own it. You want to make sure you own your website, and that's the mobile home. Now, what happens is we get a lot of people questioning, hey, can I host my website, right? Or, hey, why am I paying? In this case, we have a price, right? Currently, as of today, that price is $99 a month for hosting, right? I don't want to pay that anymore, right? Or, hey, why am I paying that? Well, it's because you're taking your mobile home and you're putting it on our servers that we ultimately pay money for, okay? And so we pay money to have servers, or call it LAN, to have multiple mobile homes. Ooh, that's supposed to be a mobile home, or multiple websites on this land. Now, what is happening is there's values in different kind of hosting services. I can tell you right now, GoDaddy's hosting and servers, they're slam packed, right? They are not optimized for certain websites. And so you can have a website that's built really well and is fast with the code, but if you host on a GoDaddy server, you may not get a good speed and it's slow to load. We just had this happen with a client where we built a really fast website and they go and they say, hey, it's not loading fast, but the problem was their hosting server or their hosting product they're paying for is not a good one. With our servers and with our hosting services, right, these services, okay, we have some development time that you get, so we can our website developers will do changes for you, so you don't have to as a business owner and slow yourself down, right? Hey, change this, add this page, change this text, change this photo. We do that for you. We also have nightly backups, so nothing can happen. We have hacker protection, right? So for some reason, if someone breaks into your website and breaks it all down, we can go back to where it was healthy again, and we have hacker protection to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? There's security, and then there's speed, right? So the big one here is speed. Our servers are built to hold WordPress websites only, which means the servers that we're using, right? These servers that we're using are only for websites that are WordPress built, which means they are built to be optimized for WordPress. So hopefully that makes sense with your website. And so when you say, hey, I want to go somewhere else, you're basically saying, hey, I don't want to use your land anymore to host my beautiful looking website. I wanted to bring it to, let's say, GoDaddy's hosting. GoDaddy's hosting, right? And I'll say, I'm not going to tell you whether it's good or bad. I may use red if it's bad, but I won't tell you, right? You want to move it to GoDaddy because it's cheaper, right? It's only $40 a month or $30 a month, right? Well, what you're basically asking your company to do, or in our case, Rotate Digital do, is you're going, hey, I want to take this website and I want to move it over to this hosting. Well, all you really need access to do that is your full admin login access to do that. Okay. And we provide that for you. Now, the problem that you run into is you go, well, I don't know how to do that. Right? I don't know how to change that, right? And that's where you need to go find somebody who knows how to do that for you. We provide that service to move your mobile home to this new hosting to save you money if that's something you want to do and that's important to you. But obviously, we're going to charge for it because you're using our services and our people to spend all the time to make sure it's set up correctly and nothing goes wrong, and nothing breaks down during that process. That's what we charge for, okay? But ultimately, your building and what you're getting when you're getting a website is you're getting this mobile home and you're getting full access to it, and you own this online asset that you can move wherever you want, however you want, whenever you want. Okay. Final question that gets asked all the time is, what about the domain, right? We didn't even talk about www.thedomain, right? .com, right? So www.rotatedigital.com, www.movingcompany.com, like the domain that you own, okay? We didn't talk about this, but I want to make sure you guys know this is an asset for you. You guys need to know that. You guys need to make sure you own that asset. Now, that asset is purchased and usually paid for on a yearly or monthly basis for somewhere between $10 and $20 a year. Okay? And you're owning a piece of the World Wide Web and saying, this is mine for my company. This has nothing to do with what we just talked about. What ends up happening if we try to like get further and further down into this analogy, which really it does break down, is in order for all this to work and for this mobile home to actually work for people to see it, you ultimately need like a foundation, or I don't know what you want to call it. It's some kind of asset that makes this all kind of come together. Maybe you plug it into the electrical system, right? Maybe there's no use of this mobile home unless you plug it in, and you plug it in, and you need access to the electrical system. And the way you get access is you get it through your domain.com, right? The domain that you've purchased and you pay for on a yearly basis, right? So hopefully that makes sense. It does break down, this analogy breaks down when we talk about your domains, but you don't need to change your domain, okay? You don't need to change your domain when you change hosting. Ultimately, you're just needing to move the hosting. What questions you guys have that would really help in this situation in terms of understanding more? I'd be happy to share with you, but hopefully this was a good video for you to understand how your assets are online, how they work online, and what you really need to do in order to make sure you own them and you have full access to what you need. All right, thanks.